and I have loads of favorite charities, from the Harry Potter Alliance to Donors Choose, Child's Play Charity, where you donate money and it gets spent on books, games, video games for kids in hospitals, Christian Brooks Hopeline Center. There's others I know I'm forgetting, Partners in Health, Factor in Helping Haiti Heal. But instead of talking about them, I want to tell you about two things that happened today. December 17th, today. This morning, when I left my house to go to work, I was greeted with quite a sight. There was a fire truck, lots of police cars, the firemen were breaking in windows to the house with hoses to keep the flames down, the smoke was billowing out. In other words, my neighbor's home was on fire. And it wasn't pretty. The good news is that everybody got out okay. There's two families that live in the house. They both got out fine, no one was hurt. The amazing awesomeness, though, is that when the firefighters got there, the flames hadn't quite yet spread to the top floor. It started in the basement. And they ran in, right to the Christmas tree, grabbed up all the gifts that they could carry, and brought them out of the house. So they managed to save the presents from under the tree. And there's some awesome photos of that in the news reports that have come out later today. And that's amazing that the firefighters did that. And the neighborhood is already finding out what they can do, working together to make sure that the families are taken care of so that their Christmas isn't as crappy as it might be. So the little kids get their presents, which is awesome, and the neighborhood is working together to help the families out. So the day started off kind of scary, but there was awesomeness in the scariness, which was great. Most of us don't really get a chance to do something quite that huge, which in some ways is good, I suppose, that people's houses aren't burning down too often. But when I got to school, to where I work, I got something equally awesome to me. I went to my mailbox. I'm a professor at a university. And in my mailbox was a textbook from one of the classes we had used. Now, textbooks are not cheap these days. Any of you who are students who have had to buy textbooks, you know this. And it was the whole big set of textbooks, which costs almost $200 new. It's very expensive. And if you turn it back in, you can sell it back and get, I think, $80 or $90 for it, which is no small amount of money. And when I got there, I saw this in my mailbox. I thought it was one of my teaching assistants who had turned it back in, but when I pulled it out, on it there was this awesome little note saying, "A student from your class asked that you give this to a student who could use it." So they gave up getting back this money and gave it to me to give to a student who can't afford textbooks for this next semester when I teach the class again. And with it was this awesome little card. I want to show it to you. It says, "You've been hit by the kindness epidemic." It's the whole do something nice and pass it on. See that? Is that awesome or what? So you've been touched by the kindness epidemic, pass it on, and act of kindness no matter how big, no matter how small. If it helps one person, it helps us all. So that totally made my day. So whoever you are, student, thank you very much. I'm going to make sure that somebody who needs it gets the textbooks next semester, and you made my day. So we have all kinds of awesome charities out there we can support, but in my opinion, it's each of us doing what we can through charities or on our own random acts of kindness that really make the world awesome. So those firefighters and this student today, they didn't forget to be awesome. And so even though the day started off kind of scary, it's ended up being pretty great.